Day 675 of doing a LeetCode problem every day until I get a job. All right, y'all, we're back again. Another day, another LeetCode problem where we're doing daily LeetCode problems. And today we have question number 2129, capitalize the title. Excuse me, y'all, capitalize the title. Sorry, y'all, it's a tongue twister. The difficulty level is easy, but don't worry because you already know we're going to keep the solution as simple and easy to understand as possible. But before we get started, y'all, don't forget to like, hype, subscribe, comment, and share. And if you need any new Apple AirPods, go ahead and check out that link in the description so you can get you some. Now let's see what the question says. You are given a string title consisting of one or more words separated by a single space, where each word consists of English letters. Capitalize the string by changing the capitalization of each word such that if the length of the word is one or two letters, change all letters to lowercase. Otherwise, change the first letter to uppercase and the remaining letters to lowercase. Return the capitalized string. All right, y'all, so that may seem a little bit confusing at first. So let's go ahead and take a look at these examples just to make sure that we are doing this problem correctly. So in example 1, we have our input title equals a string, capitalize the title. Now, as you can see, the capitalization in this string is all off, right? Like first we have this L capitalized, we have this H capitalized, and we have this T capitalized. What we want to do is we want to just change the first letter in this string of every word in the string to capital or uppercase letters and change the remaining letters to lowercase, right? So it will end up looking like this in the end. And that's only because we don't have any words in this string that have a length of one or two letters, right? Every word in this string is more than two letters. So we need to capitalize the first letter of every word. After we do that, it's the same string, capitalize the title. It's just this time the C is capitalized and every other letter is lowercase. Then the T is uppercase and every other letter is lowercase. Then this T is uppercase, every other letter is lowercase, right? So once again, we just changed the first letter to uppercase and the remaining letters to lowercase, and that's what we got. It says, since all the words have a length of at least 3, the first letter of each word is uppercase and the remaining letters are lowercase. Now, just in case that didn't make sense, let's take a look at example 2 where we have some two-letter words, right? So in this example, the input title equals a string, first letter of each word. As you can see, we have this F capital, we have these T's capitalized, we have this whole each is capitalized, and then we have this W capitalized, and of is not. And it's not supposed to. Now in the output, same string, first letter of each word, but this time the F is capitalized, everything else is lowercase, L uppercase, everything else is lowercase. Of has a length of 2, so the whole word is going to be lowercase. Then over here, E is uppercase, everything else is lowercase, W uppercase, everything else is lowercase. Explanation said the word of has length of 2, so it is all lowercase. The remaining words have a length of at least 3, so the first letter of each remaining word is uppercase and the remaining letters are lowercase. Boom. And finally, last but certainly not least, let's take a look at example 3. So in example 3, we have our title, I love LeetCode, with I being lowercase, L lower is lowercase, but O is uppercase, and then LeetCode, whole thing lowercase. Boom. Then after we change it to the output, I is still lowercase because it's only one letter. Then love has a capital L, rest lowercase. L has a capital L, the rest lowercase. Boom. So once again, we just changed the first letter of the word to uppercase, everything else lowercase, and this I only has one character, so it remains lowercase. Explanation says the word I has length of 1, so it is lowercase. The remaining words have a length of at least 3, so the first letter of each remaining word is uppercase and the remaining letters are lowercase. Boom, y'all. So I hope that makes sense to y'all. And now that we understand the question, let's get into this fun part, the actual solution. Y'all, solution is not difficult at all. Now, first thing we're going to do is we're going to split the input string into an array of words, and we're going to be using spaces as a separator. So we're going to declare a variable called str. We're going to set it equal to title dot components. So we're going to get the components of title. Boom. Open up the string, and we are going to say separated by colon. So this is going to let the compiler know and put a blank space open, or put the quotation marks and put a blank space, and this is going to let the compiler know every time we see a blank space we have a new component or a new word. Boom. Now we need to iterate through the array while also getting the index of each word. So we're going to say for, open up the parentheses, index comma s, because we want the index and the value of that index. So we're going to say in str. You already know, since we want the index and the value, we're going to use dot enumerated, put the parentheses, open up the brackets, and if the word has a length of 2 or less characters, we could check that by saying if s.count is less than or equal to 2, then boom, we could open up the brackets, and we're going to convert the entire word to lowercase, or in short words will remain lowercase according to our problem rules. So we're just going to say str, open up the brackets, index, come outside of those brackets, equals s dot lowercase. Boom. And put the parentheses. Boom. Then we'll come right here. We're going to say else, meaning is the s dot count is greater than 2. We're going to say, or has more than 2 characters, then we need to capitalize the first letter and lowercase the rest. So we're going to say str square bracket index, come outside of that, and we're going to say s dot capitalized. Boom. Then we could come right here, and all we need to do is join the modified words back into a single string separated by a space by saying return let's just say return str dot joined, open up the parentheses, separator colon blank quotation marks, and put a space in there. Boom. So let's give this a run, make sure it runs properly before we submit it. And we got an error. It should be an equal sign right here. Sorry about that, y'all. Let's give it a run again. Let's see. Boom. It's accepted. So let's go ahead and submit it. Make sure it's still accepted. And look at that, y'all. 2 milliseconds beats 81.40% of users. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I like to see, y'all. So, with that being said, I hope y'all learned something today, and I hope to see y'all here tomorrow for another day, another LeetCode problem. See y'all then.